But we do see here that there's a resolution to it.
Yeah.
Uh, there was a resolution in Sarah's case as well, but that needed to be more of a miracle. I think in this case, I guess it's still a miracle. I mean, how do
Yeah.
you know? Does this make sense? What I'm trying to get at? It's like
I
I think
get what
it's
you're saying. But go ahead, Mom.
no. You go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
I'll say, yeah, I think it's still a miracle to me.
uh-huh.
I think the difference is Isaac sought the Lord. Abraham complained a lot and then was like, his wife was like, okay, just take my maidservant. Like there was no seeking the Lord in Abraham's story when he was like, there's a promise. I know the promise. So I need a kid. Like that's how it felt for Abraham. And Isaac is like, this is why I'm feeling like, okay, maybe he loved his wife. Like that's like we see it a little different in his story because he prays for his wife instead of
What is going on, XYZers, XYZ Nation? We're back with the next episode of season 5.
Yeah.
It's like saying that. Season 5. Season 5, episode 2, I like to call it, because I started at 0 for the intro. It's just me being weird. Where we're looking at Genesis chapter 25.
Mm-hmm.
And the title of this one is On to the Next One. Make sense?
Yep.
All right. Hopefully it makes sense to you all out there on the worldwide interwebs, all of our watchers. So there's something that we're supposed to do, and that something is to introduce ourselves. I am the latchkey one himself, the former X-Man repping Gen X, all up in the area, Chris. And at the far end, we have
I am Moya, the resident millennial. And again, we have a guest, Kayla, who was in our last season. Welcome back, Kayla.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back. It's a
cool.
joy.
So anything you want to tell the new peoples, not new peoples, but the peoples, about anything that's transpired from the last time? You still got the same handles and all of that stuff, and
Same handles. Instagram is Kaylay, KAY.LAY. I dyed my hair. That's new. I remember that. I was like, oh, how long has it been? And yeah, I
okay.
still like cats. I think I mentioned that.
I think I forgot
I
that. I
still
think I
like
pushed that
cats.
out of my head on purpose. I
I
forgot
like
the
dogs
cat
too,
thing.
but like I like cats more.
Yeah, nah. I like dogs. I won't say I hate cats, but they definitely are not up there on the totem pole of pets that I would like to have.
That's fair.
So, all right. So we are also, since this is episode 3/2, and we went over Genesis chapter 24 last time, we have one of our favorite segments back, which is the All Right, So Boom segment. That Miss Moyo takes us through.
All right. So, Genesis chapter 24, we are introduced back to Abraham, and at this point, he's very old. But we're told that the Lord has blessed him in every way. He takes his servant, one of the oldest in his household, and has him swear by God, the God of heaven and God of earth, that he will help choose a wife for his son Isaac, but not from the people in the land that they're in. So not a Canaanite woman. He has to go back to Abraham's homeland to find Isaac a son. And the servant is like, well, what if she doesn't want to come with me? Like, what if she doesn't want to come here? Do I take Isaac with me? And Abraham is like, do not take my son back to that place. Like, he must stay here. And he basically just says, if I trust that God is going to go before you, the angel of the Lord is going to go before you and help you in this mission. And he was like, and if the woman says no, it's fine. Like, I release you from the oath. So the servant leaves. He takes 10 camels and some gifts and things, and he heads to Mesopotamia.
Yep.
To the town of Nahor. He stops at a well and he starts to pray, which I think was one of the first times we're seeing like someone pray differently, like not speaking like a lot. We've been seeing a lot of visions and like God talking to people directly, but this is like him just talking to God. Right. And it was a lot of God of Abraham, God of my master, and all of that.
Yep.
But he says, give me a sign of how I'll know that this woman is the woman that should marry Isaac. And he wants it to be someone who, when he asks for water from the well, will say, of course, have some water. And I'll also feed your camels or let your camels drink until they're full. So before he even finished praying, Rebecca comes out and he's like, can I have some water? She's like, yeah, of course. And I'll get some for your camels. He's like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, this is crazy. And he watches her do this and serve the camels. And he's just like, in awe, like, wow, she's actually doing this. Yep. Mind you, in that episode, we talked about how he's doing all of this. And we find out later that he has other people with him. So it was a little like, why is she doing all this work when there's other people here?
Right.
But yeah, go back to that episode if you want to hear that discussion. But yeah, so she does all of that, and at the end he gives her a gold ring for her nose, and I believe some other things, and says, do you guys have a place for me to stay? Yeah. She says, yes, we have a lot of room, we have stuff for your camels, like there's lots of space. But she runs and goes to tell her family everything that's happened so far. Oh, before that, he asks, who are you? Yes. And she says, I'm the daughter of Bethel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, which we know is Abraham's relative.
Yeah.
So he worships God because of the fact that this is someone from Abraham's household, and he basically found her so quickly after his prayer. And so yeah, then she runs and goes back to her family, and her brother sees her decked out in the gold, and he's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, what happened? And she tells the whole story, and Laban is like, why did you leave him out there? Let's go get him. They go get the brother, or they go get the servant and his people. They bring them back. They give the camels food. They have him, give him water to wash his feet and wash up and things like that. Then they put food before him, and, they want to feed him. And he's like, wait a minute, before I eat, let me let you guys know why I'm here. Yeah. And he explains the whole situation. Like, he's going all the way back to the fact that Sarah was barren. Now she has this son, and he's the son of the promise and all of these things, and everything that belongs to Abraham now is going to be passed down to Isaac, his sole heir.
Right.
And so he tells the whole story, the well part, like everything that I just said, he repeats it almost verbatim.
Right. Yeah.
And he asks if, he can take Rebecca back. And the family's like, I mean, sounds like the Lord planned this out. So go ahead. Like, it is what it is. What are we going to say? Like, we can't say yes. We can't say no. It's the Lord's doing. And so they agree. And he gives gifts of gold, silver, clothing to Rebecca and her family. I think her mom and her brother specifically.
Yeah.
And then the next morning the servant gets up and he's like, hey, I'm ready to go. Like, let's go. And they're like, wait, just give us 10 days to get her ready. Like, just 10 days. And he's like, no, bro, like, that was not the agreement. We are leaving today.
Exactly.
And so the family's like, well, just ask her then, because it's not in our hands. And she's like, yeah, I'll go, which was shocking to me. But
yeah,
I was just like, okay. So she agrees to go, and they send her with her nurse. Mm-hmm. So she goes. She leaves. Her family blesses her. They pray over her that she'll become the mother of thousands, and that her descendants will possess the gates of their enemies. Right. And we had a good discussion about that as well. So I would definitely go back and check that one out. But then on the journey, they get back to Bear Lahai Roy. Yeah. They get back there, and she sees Isaac from the distance. She's like, wait a minute, who is that? And he's like, the servant says, that's Isaac, that's my master. Uh-huh. And so she puts her veil on herself. They get there. Isaac, is, who is this?
Right.
The servant explains the whole story to him. And then he takes Rebecca into his into Sarah, his mother's tent, marries her, does all the things. And basically they ended with saying that he was comforted after the death of his mother because of Rebecca.
Yeah. But didn't it also say that he loved her?
He
I'm
did
surprised you
love
left
her.
that
He
out.
did love her. Yes.
He took her and he loved her.
Yes, yes. He took her and he loved her. Whatever that means.
If you don't understand, right? If you don't understand why I brought that up, go back and watch some of the previous episodes.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
even into last season.
Yes.
And
Yeah, because
you'll
love
see
has
that.
changed a lot since Genesis chapter, was it 2, I guess? Like, yeah. But we do find out later, I think in later chapters, because this first one I was like, okay, he loved her, okay, like, okay. But as you see it later, I'm gonna be like, oh, he might actually love her. Like, that's his bae for real.
You can't take him at his word. You can't take it that at the word that he loved her. It's
I don't
like
know,
that's what he
man.
said.
I don't know.
I get Abraham a little bit more because I don't know that it was ever expressly said that Abraham loved Sarah. I think that I see it in the way that he mourned for her, but that's just me.
That was after years and years of being together. So yes, you love somebody because of the relationship. But do people believe in love at first sight? That should be a poll.
Oh, jeez. Ooh.
Do you believe in love at first sight? Because I don't. I don't believe in it. But it could be a thing. I think some people are like, I saw this person and I
And
knew
I
that
knew it
person.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that a poll? Is that a poll we need to put up?
I'll put in
Okay.
comments or something or post it up somewhere.
Cool. We'll see what everyone says. So answer the poll, XYZers. So thank you for that recap. As usual, the ISO boom. I got the buttons real easy, so I can just push them whenever I want. I saw Kayla applauding. I was like, wait, I have that button. I think I am to read first. This is Genesis chapter 5, verses 1 through 6. Abraham took another wife, whose name was Keturah. She bore him Zimram, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan fathered Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Dedan were Asherim, Letushim, Leumim. The sons of Midian were Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. Abraham gave all he had to Isaac, but to the sons of his concubines, Abraham gave gifts. And while he was still living, he sent them away from his son Isaac eastward to the east country. All right. So Abraham got booed up again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for
No, my thing is wife, right? Because we talked about in Hagar's story,
right.
he took her as a wife, but now they're being described as concubines.
Right.
So which is it?
Yeah, I think it's so from some of the things that I read, it's like concubine slash wife. It's like they're trying to draw this differentiation between the people that Keturah and Hagar, right, versus Sarah. I think they're trying to draw that distinction, so they're calling it. And so I've seen it's like concubine wife, and it's because of the words that they use, the Hebrew words. There can be like maids and something, as opposed to just straight concubine word that you may see later. So I think that's how they're trying to describe them. And I think that makes sense because even with Hagar, it almost seems like there was a certain status he reached which upset Sarah, right?
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Well, not the once because she kicked her out
Yeah.
after Ishmael was born because she got a little uppity. But then because we think because of the way that Ishmael treated Isaac, that right. So that's what I read because I was confused because when it said concubines, I was like, they only told us about Keturah and Hagar. I mean, are we going back to Hagar to talk about what he gave?
Yeah, and that's what I would assume.
Right.
Is Hagar? Yeah, that's what I would assume.
Yeah.
Because Isaac is the only one getting everything else. If you don't include Hagar, then that means Ishmael got nothing. But we know he got some.
Right. Right. So, and then do we take anything from the fact that Abraham has these additional sons now? So we knew it was Ishmael, and we were told what would happen with Ishmael, but now we've got all these other sons from Keturah.
Yeah. I mean, the promise for him was that he would be the father of nations.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we assume that it's just the nations that come out of Isaac.
Right.
But it's not. Like, you have, especially like Midian was one of them. Like,
Yeah.
we know them, we
Yeah.
know him, and probably these others are other nations.
Mhm.
All of his sons become nations, including Ishmael.
Yeah.
They're just divided nations. Yeah.
They're not the nation that we're all looking for and God is choosing the seed of, but God's holding to his promise.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Which is awesome. All right, Kayla. Why did Abraham kick everybody else out? He told everybody to go east, gave them gifts and said, "Get out of here."
I guess when I read it, I I thought of it as not as like favoritism, but like because of what's to come with Isaac in a sense. Like the focus is on Isaac because like Moyo said he's like the sole heir. I don't think he's like, I don't know, shunning them, but
you think he's being a deadbeat dad to all the other sons he has?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I don't think so either. You had the same kind of take, Moya?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're only because of future knowledge of Isaac. He seems very much a people pleaser. Isaac, even going back to when he was being sacrificed, it was like, okay, like I'll be sacrificed. Like, so I feel like if his brothers stayed with him, he would have shared the inheritance with them. And I feel like maybe Abraham knew that of his son and was like, let's just remove that. Yeah. Abraham did a lot of planning, like planning. It didn't always seem God ordained, but he was always planning. Yeah. Like, because this is the promise, I want to do this. Because this is the promise, I want to, like, he moves a certain way because he knows what the promise is.
Yeah, I agree. I took it a step further than just him sharing, but that there was to be no one else that could in the area that could lay claim to the inheritance that Isaac is supposed to get. And that's not just because, I mean, he's not the firstborn. The firstborn is technically Ishmael, but it's because he is the seed that God had proclaimed. Yeah. So I know, just like he was like, don't take anybody from Canaan for Isaac. I want to make sure I'm staying true. Here, I think he's doing the same type of thing. All y'all need to leave because Isaac is the focus. He's the seed. He's the one that this is going to run through. Yeah. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. So, anything else? One last thing I'll mention. I say anything else, and I'll mention one last thing. I always find it interesting when, and we talked about this before, about going east. And that always, to me, is symbolism of
being moved away from the promise.
Right, being moved away from the Lord. Yeah. Yeah. So, which would sort of emphasize in my mind that Isaac is the one that's the Lord is going to work through, and the rest of these are are further from that promise that was set up. So that struck me as well. So now I'll say it again. Anything else? Any other thoughts on chapter 6? I mean, chapter 25, verses 1 through 6. Don't laugh at me. You've been here before.
I'm laughing because when you started, you said Genesis chapter 5, and I like laughed in my head.
Oh, so now you want to laugh out loud.
I wasn't gonna like say anything.
So instead of saying Genesis 25, I said Genesis chapter 5.
Yes. You're gonna have to edit that.
Jeez. I think I am to read first. This is Genesis chapter 5, verses 1 through 6.
I didn't catch it.
You have to keep it in for comedic relief.
Yeah, it'll I'm not going to remove it, but
if I remember correctly, but I feel like when I heard it, I was like, oh.
You have one of those young minds that That works well. Mine is old. I can't even remember we're in Genesis chapter 25 all the time. So, all right. Next up.
All right. Genesis chapter 25, verses 7 to 11. These are the days of the years of Abraham's life, 175 years. Abraham breathed his last and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. Isaac and Ishmael, his sons, buried him in the cave of Machpelah in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar, the Hittite, east of Mamre, in the field that Abraham purchased from the Hittites. There Abraham was buried with Sarah, his wife. After the death of Abraham, God blessed Isaac, his son, and Isaac settled at Beer Lahai.
Yep. Well, so now we get to the obituary basically for Abraham. He lived to a good old age of 175.
Yeah.
So can you imagine? And I think this math comes up later. I don't know if it's in this chapter, but maybe in the next and after that. But he got to see Isaac live till he was 75 years old.
Mhm.
He was born at 100. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
He was 75 when he was first called,
Mhm.
100 when Isaac is born,
Yes.
and then dies at 175.
100.
I was thinking if that was like any relevance to that,
I don't know.
like the 75.
That's
Yeah.
cool though,
I don't know.
in a way.
It is interesting. It is interesting. So what else do we see? He died at a good old age,
Mm-hmm.
which was a promise that was made.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back to look at Genesis 15:15. What do we take about him saying that he was an old man, full of years? When you hear that, what do you think?
It's kind of crazy because when my friends and I were having a discussion, I'm like, so if he was old, or like if he died when he was 175, like did people in the Bible physically age? Like what would a person that's 175 years old look like? I feel
So
like it's good because of how long it's been. Like that's a lot of years. Like I don't think too many people. I don't know if anybody's made it to 175, but I
as of late, no, I doubt it.
I feel like it's always like a little past 100, or like 120 maybe is the most I've
I think
seen,
the
but
oldest person I've seen modern, maybe 110, 111.
but then when I hear good, or when I see good, I think of like, and how we see like God as good. Like was it good because he did what he was called to do,
Mhm.
and not necessarily got like, oh, like good as in like the good old days. More of
Mhm.
like good in that aspect, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Go ahead, Moya. You have something?
I mean, just before these times, we've seen in Genesis how long people could have lived, and how was it Noah that was like, I don't know,
Oh.
300
yeah,
something.
he was hundreds of years before he even started building the ark.
Yeah.
And so we don't know what they look like, but he was young in his time. Noah was young in his time,
Yeah.
and this is now old.
I honestly think that if if there was basketball then, he wouldn't be breaking down playing basketball like I am. You hurting my knee, aching, take me 24 hours to recover.
He might though,
Probably
because he
be
didn't do
more
the
like in his
travel.
30s.
He didn't do the travel on his own.
No, I don't
And we
know.
saw before Isaac was born, he was agile, like he was doing stuff. He was doing this and doing
Yeah.
that when the people came.
Yeah.
And at that point he was
He
99.
was 99
So
years old. Talk about how quick he moving.
yeah. So I think 175 is probably all right. Let me sit down.
It's time. It's
Yeah.
it's time. Oh man.
It always felt drastic, like the
Yeah.
aging for them. It's like
Mhm.
1 minute they're fine.
Right.
This man had another wife with a bunch of kids after his what we thought was old wife died, because she
Yeah.
lived to 140,
137, I think.
Okay, yeah. So she lived a long time too.
Yeah.
And he had enough time to still like
Still.
have all of these kids.
Yep.
And now he's old.
Nah, right.
right before he
It
dies.
does, it does feel like that.
I
Yeah.
wonder if that's God's like intention though, or maybe it's like a telltale sign. Like they're like really quick and agile at like these really old ages, and then like boom, now you're
Nah, I don't
like
know.
I don't know, like it's like drastic. Like Boyle was saying, like I
Yeah.
don't.
Well, I think some of that is the way that the story is told about the person, right?
Mm,
Because we just come to the beginning of this chapter and boom, hey, Keturah's on the scene. Where did she come from, right?
mhm,
Where, okay. He was so adamant about not marrying a Canaanite. Where is she from? Did he go back and get all of those questions? How old are all these kids? Because
Yeah.
they've got kids, right?
Yeah.
So I think some of it is, it seems that way, uh, just because of the way, I think some of it's because of the way that it's being penned by the author, by the way
mhm,
Moses is writing it. He's getting to the important parts of the person's life,
Yeah.
right? And he's not doing like we would expect autobiographies today, where I write down everything that happened in the person's life. He's just getting to the good points. And then I think we talked about this way back when we were going through Genesis 1 through 12, that when we run into the genealogies in chapter 5, I want to say, all of them ended with such and such begat such and such years old, and then he died.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
And I always take, whenever you see this, that someone has died and they've gone on, is because it points back to Genesis chapter 3, the fall and the eating of the tree, and sin entering the world where everybody's going to die,
mm,
Yeah.
right? So I think that's an interesting take here, when you think about the age and how it's relayed, and they don't just fade off. We're actually told they die, of
Yeah.
course, because Abraham's important, but also because Abraham didn't even escape the the breaking of the mandate that the Lord had put in place.
Yeah.
So, and he was gathered to his people. So he died at a good old age, a man full of years. He lived and did all the things he was supposed to do, and he was gathered to his people. I think that just means that he died. And he's, you know, this idea that you go off into um oblivion, like, because some people are thinking like there is nothing after, right? Like
mhm,
annihilation happens. There's no you anymore, and it's just saying the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Saying that he's gathered into his people, so everybody who went before him, they're there, and he's gone to them.
Yeah.
What there means, what they look like, we don't know. We just know that they're there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I read that like it's representing the ancestors before him, like he's
Right,
meeting them.
mm.
right.
There's a movie that's like that, but I can't think of it.
You calling out a movie?
I know, because I don't really watch movies. That's
No,
why I can't
you
even think
don't.
about it. But I'm like, there was a movie where the person dies and they see all of their ancestors and they like go meet with the ancestors. Maybe it was a TV show.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sure they do it in a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. All right. So then we get to Isaac and Ishmael burying him.
Yep.
And this brings up a lot of common stuff that we've seen before, right? It's all these, like, where was he buried?
Mm-hmm.
Who he was buried with? Who formerly owned the lot that we were buried on? So
Yeah.
all of that should seem very familiar, including the fact that he did that for Sarah, and now he's buried with her.
Yeah. I found it interesting that Ishmael
Mm,
was there
Mhm.
yeah,
because Ishmael has been sent away so many times. It's like he still came back for his daddy's burial,
yeah,
which was interesting to me.
yeah. I think it's kind of cool. And while he was sent away, it's interesting to me also that only two were mentioned of all of those that were born of Keturah.
Mhm.
Only Isaac and Ishmael were mentioned as coming back to bury him.
Yeah.
So Ishmael, I guess he loved his dad.
He must have.
Yeah. And then we finish up. And the last thing that we see here is that God blessed Isaac, and he lived at Beer Lahai Roi.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of the fact that it says God blessed Isaac?
Like a separate blessing from what his father already handed down to him. Well, maybe the same blessing, but I think this blessing is more of a material blessing. Like he's being blessed. He has the inheritance that his dad left, but God is also blessing him on top of that.
Yeah, that's what I think. You same thing. Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's interesting, and we'll see this in a different, and actually next chapter as well. Sort of this difference between the inheritance and all the things that you'll get, and um and the blessing, because when it says that Abraham gave him all that he had, that's all the physical stuff, right? But and I can talk about this because in Genesis, right, 49, you remember that when Israel slash Jacob went through and blessed, air quotes, all his sons.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get that with Abraham and Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right here, I think that, and I think that's what this is meant to say, that there wasn't a formal blessing between Abraham and Isaac, but God blessed Isaac.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we see there. And then he went to settle. Anything else with those verses? Yeah.
So this Roy place has been coming up a lot because in the last chapter it said Isaac was coming from there where when he met or saw Rebecca.
Yep.
And then I went back, I was like, we saw this before.
Yeah.
And it was back when Hagar was, fleeing, and she felt seen by God there. And I originally thought it was a little more far off from where they were originally settled, but now it just feels like it's all the same, like close region. Like she didn't get that far.
Right.
Like it felt far at first because she's like, I'm about to die. Like you could just go back. But now it's like it feels like it's right here.
Yeah.
Because they're always coming in and out of this. I don't know if it's a town or area. They're always coming in and out of here, so it seems seamlessly.
Yeah. I want to say we put a map up, but maybe we'll put a map up again, just to show the distance between, because Canaan and all of that is a pretty broad area. Because then you've also got where the Hittites are, and Machpelah, and Beer Lahai Roi, and don't forget Beersheba, right, which we saw, and there'll be some questions about that, I think, in the next chapter as well. All of this is like, again, back to the the writer doesn't say, oh, they traveled 2 days to get from point A to point B. It's just like, boom, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know how to handle that, because I don't want to move the Bear Lahai Roi place anywhere. I think it's exactly where it was, but we just aren't told how long it takes for them to get between points A and B.
Yeah.
All the time. But it is the same place, I believe. Genesis 25, verses 12 through 18. Oh, man. These are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's servant, bore to Abraham. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, named in the order of their birth: Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael, and Kedar, Abdil, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetor, Naphish, and Kedemah. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their villages and by their encampments, 12 princes according to their tribes. These are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. He breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his people. They settled from Havilah to Shur, which is opposite Egypt, in the direction of Assyria. He settled over against all his kinsmen. All right. So now we get introduced to Ishmael's clan. What do we see there? Any similarities? Any takeaways from Ishmael and his group?
That's like the 12 tribes.
12 princes, 12 tribes, and maybe some comparison there, some parallels there.
I think it's interesting that this part is in parentheses, and I don't know if it's like that in other versions, verse 17.
Yeah. It's looks like it's an aside, right? While I'm going through, I want to tell you exactly what happened with Ishmael and his life. And we get some of the same things. We get these are the years.
Mm-hmm.
We get he breathed his last and died. So he really died. But then we also see that he was gathered into his people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So when I first read it, my question was, okay, what people? Are they the same ancestors as Abraham? I don't know. But I
Mhm.
think it's really just meant to sort of highlight what we said earlier, that if there is something after this death, right? You're just
Mhm.
not annihilated. He's gathered unto his people, whoever those people are. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Do we make anything of the fact that it's called out that they are by their villages and by their encampments, almost like they're setting up their nations as well?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because if we go back to the table of nations and you go through that list, it's like they were all separated by their clans, by their land, right? By all of them things that made them a unit, right? Culturally, language wise, familial lines, right? They were established as a nation or a group or a place in this earth where they lived. And I think we get that same thing with Ishmael and his people,
Mhm.
which then takes us back to the fact of many nations.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to be. So we're just seeing the continuation of it.
Yeah. And that was one of the promises made to
Yeah.
Hagar
Mhm.
Yeah.
for Ishmael.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
It makes sense that that's what we would see.
Yeah.
So again, we're seeing God carry all of this stuff out exactly as he promised.
Mhm.
Exactly as he promised. So, oh,
I also like that
right.
they were in order
Mhm.
because we've been talking about how like they give the genealogies and it just be any old like
Right.
we're trying to get somewhere, so we're gonna list them however we feel like listing them.
Right.
And they specifically were like in the order they were born. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I see y'all.
In the Bale being the firstborn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought that was interesting as well. That was good. Um, and I don't have too much more. He settled over against all his kinsmen. That should sound familiar as well. Right? Is he the one, or am I getting this confused with I think Wild Donkey of a Man was that Ishmael?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone, I'm
Would be
paraphrasing
against
here, will
him.
be against him.
Yeah.
So I think that sort of cements that, yeah, this is that Ishmael, and everything that was called out came to be true.
Yeah.
Came to be true. So we've gone through, the order of this is interesting to me because we go through Keturah and all of her sons. We get a mention of Isaac, that Isaac was given everything.
Mhm.
Then it focuses in on, the obituary for Abraham. And then it goes out and it tells us about Ishmael. And now in the next verses, we're going to get into the generations of Isaac. So just the organization of these first couple of verses in chapter 25, I think are meant to say, okay, there's this group of folks that Abraham has that he sent away that were by this Keturah. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to point out. Then we've got the death of Abraham. Now we're going to tell you about Ishmael, right, who's his firstborn. So we feel we need to talk to you about it. Then we're going to talk about Isaac. So it's not set up in chronological order. It's just set up in a way to try and cement what the author wanted to get across in terms of importance, I think,
Mhm.
and where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
And then the one other thing that was interesting to me, did anyone pick up on the way that Ishmael was introduced? Like when you read verse 12.
Oh, like Abraham's son, whom Hagar, the
Right.
Egyptian, Sarah's servant,
Right.
bore to Abraham.
Right.
I don't know. I think like when I first read it, it was like maybe a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, we were talking about Isaac and Keturah. Now we're back to Ishmael, who's Abraham's son,
Mm-hmm.
whom Hagar, Sarah's servant, bore to Abraham.
Could he have just said who Abraham's son?
No,
I mean,
You
no.
don't think so?
I don't think so, because we're talking about how Isaac is the heir, right?
Yep.
So let's be clear. Like, yes, he was at the burial. Yes, they listed him as a son. They said Isaac and Ishmael, Abraham's son at that point.
Yes.
But they were like, but not an heir, not the one that's going to be, carrying on the blessing.
Not the child of promise.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I think it has to be reiterated.
Right. I think that's what the author's trying to do. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to tell you about him, but remember who he is. He's a son of Abraham, yes. The daughter of Hagar, who's an Egyptian. She's not of them, right? Who was a servant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's not get it twisted as to who it is that we're introducing. So I think that's another important thing to help provide that distinction, just as you were mentioning.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think it's important to know who he is, because we're talking about him living amongst his family and his clan, and it's not Abraham's
Right.
homeland. He's living with his mother's
Right.
people, or
Right.
near his mother's people.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait, he's in Egypt? I thought he was Abraham's son.
Yep.
No, he's Abraham's son from an Egyptian woman.
Right.
So I think all of it has to be restated just so that we're clear.
Mm-hmm.
He's not back in where was it?
Canaan.
Yeah, like
or
he's
that
not back
area,
there
in the
being
land that's
Nahor's
promised.
land or whatever.
Right.
Like he's with the Egyptians,
Yeah.
close to them.
Oh, you mean he's not back to where Abraham came from?
Yes, he's not back where
He's not
Abraham
Padan
came
Aram
from.
or anything like
No.
that. Mesopotamia. Yeah, no, he's not. He's not. I think that's why they give us the location, right? Assyria.
Yeah.
Dwelt from Havilah to Shur, right?
Yeah.
To sort of given that they're not in the promised land. They have no right to the promised land that's been given to Abraham.
Yeah. And
So
those
that's
are
good.
those are his kingsmen. Like
Yeah.
there's a part of him that is Abraham, but this is the part that
Right.
he's related to.
Yeah. All right, cool. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, so now, I think Moyo, if you can read our next set of verses.
Yep.
And then you'll get to read. So okay.
I
I didn't want
thinking
you to
that.
have
No,
to read all the hard names. I was like, I'll take that on the chin.
It's funny because my friend from church, she was saying if you just say them with confidence, nobody will know if they're mispronounced.
There you go.
So that's how I kind of do it from now on. I'm not like trying to be perfect in pronouncing it. I'ma just sound it out how I see it.
Yep. That's what you do. All right. Next.
Genesis chapter 25, verses 19 to 26. These are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham fathered Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the daughter of Bethel, this is the say it with confidence.
Yep.
Aramean of
Mhm.
Paddan Aram,
There
the
you
sister of Laban, the Aramean, to be his wife. And Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren.
Mm.
And the Lord granted his prayer, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. The children struggled together within her, and she said, "If it is thus, why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you shall be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other, the older shall serve the younger." When her days to give birth were completed, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red, all his body like a hairy cloak. So they called his name Esau. Afterwards, his brother came out with his hand holding Esau's heel. So his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them.
All right. I like this because we get some dates and then we pair that up with Abraham. So if Isaac was married to Rebekah at 40, Abraham was 140, right? And if the two children were born to Isaac at 60, Abraham was 160. So he got 15 years with his grandkids. So cool. We have switched now to the generations of Isaac.
Yeah.
Right? And we see what things are happening in his life as he goes. Which of the things that we read through here, which of these things sort of reminds you or take you back to things that Abraham was going through as well?
I think Rebecca being barren.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about these women, but they be barren. They're not having kids like that.
Yeah.
But we do see here that there's a resolution to it.
Yeah.
There was a resolution in Sarah's case as well, but that needed to be more of a miracle, I think. In this case, I guess it's still a miracle. I mean, how do
Yeah.
you know? Does this make sense? What I'm trying to get at? It's like
I
think
get what you're saying, but go ahead, Mark.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
I'll say, yeah, I think it's still a miracle to me. I think the difference is Isaac sought the Lord. Abraham complained a lot and then was like, his wife was like, okay, just take my maidservant. Like there was no seeking the Lord in Abraham's story when he was like, there's a promise. I know the promise. So I need a kid. Like that's how it felt for Abraham. And Isaac is like, this is why I'm feeling like, okay, maybe he loved his wife. Like that's like, we see it a little different in his story because he prays for his wife instead of complaining. Like he's just like, Lord, help her. And then God does. It takes 20 years, but it doesn't say he did anything on the side.
So I hear you. I guess I'm still thinking of it in terms of, how do I say this? Not that the Lord was that the Lord was proving a point, that the Lord was showing Abraham that I said this and I can be trusted in the promise that I give. And I want it to be so out of the norm, to be so miraculous. Not saying that this wasn't a miracle, because I can understand that, but to be so miraculous that it should not even happen, but it happens anyway. And that be sort of the sign that I am choosing you and your seed to bring this blessing to the world. I see what you're saying, but I think that Sarah's birth has a little more prestige, nostalgia. Nostalgia is not the right word. Prestige behind it, or I don't know what the word is, but there's some more oomph behind
because she was past the age of childbearing.
She was, and the way of women has stopped with her, right? And so the Lord, out of that, is going to still fulfill this promise. I don't know that the way of women had passed Rebecca, even though I get it, she was barren, and it's still a miracle after prayer that she had a child. But if he did that with Abraham, there's no way he's going to stop, because he's got to continue to perpetuate and build this line.
Yeah. I'm more so on the Isaac sought the Lord for his wife. It's still a miracle because 20 years. Like there are people who after, what is it? I think after like 2 years, if you don't have a kid, you're supposed to start going to the doctor and making sure something isn't wrong. It might be less than that actually. I think for a healthy couple who both of you shouldn't have anything, like you, after a year of actually trying, you have to go to a doctor to figure out what's going on because you're supposed to conceive within that year. So you're saying 20 years has passed.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
And his solution is, I'm going to seek the Lord and I'm going to pray. And then it's like, okay, and then God answered. We don't know how long he prayed for. We don't know if it's like every year he's seeking and
Yeah.
asking, or if it's just, okay, it's been 20 years, Lord, please help my wife. Like,
Right.
something's going on.
Yeah, that's true. I get that. That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense. And I do, it's not lost on me, just like you said, that his avenue was to pray to the Lord, which sort of reiterates to us that he knows the Lord to have something done about this situation.
Yeah.
And what else stuck out to me is, while it does say that the Lord blessed Isaac earlier, we don't have anywhere here where it's talked about, like the Lord talked to Abraham about all these things that are going to happen. We don't have anything here where it's talked about to Isaac.
Yeah, not yet.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder if communication with God is changing, because we went from the servant, the servant praying at the well, and now we have Isaac praying. So is the communication that they have with God shifting? Like, is it no longer the visions and the like face-to-face interactions or the audible interactions with him? Is the last chapter where things start to change and how people interact with God?
Maybe. I think we'll have to keep an eye on that as we continue through.
Yeah.
Through this. It feels weird saying the last portion of Genesis, but it is for us because we did 37 to 50
Yeah, we've
already.
already done the other
So
part.
as we continue through Genesis. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks. Now, what doesn't remind us of Abraham is the fact that she's having some issues.
Mm-hmm.
Me never being pregnant, I don't know what it feels like or what's going on.
Yeah.
But there must have been some major stuff going on.
Yeah.
With her, because she's like, help me.
Yeah.
Or tell me what's happening.
Yeah.
So what about that? Did anything strike you about that situation or what's happening there?
I don't know, maybe it's just the visual. But like you were saying, like to what degree, to the point where she's like where they physically tussling in the womb.
Yeah. I mean, what was God's response to her when she asked?
There's two nations in there.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the first set of twins. Like, maybe this is not normal. Like, she probably is like, I've seen people pregnant. This is not how it looks. Like, because when you're pregnant, your stomach is like, you can see the hand and you can see the foot sticking through. Like, it's really weird. So imagine two of them doing that. She's like, what's going on? Like, are these aliens or what? Like, something's not right.
Right.
And her response feels like, okay, I know we asked for this, but this is not what I asked for.
That's exactly how I read it. Just like, okay, Lord, this ain't all what I thought it would be. So she realizes that she gets the response from the Lord. So we already talked about there are two nations and there are two peoples. What about the fact that he says here, the one shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger? Anything to that you all picked up on?
I guess the older shall serve the younger.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of it makes me think of like how siblings kind of sort of have that dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm the youngest of three, and so it's like
That explains it.
yeah, like you said,
I'm just messing with you.
I'm the youngest of three, and I'm the only girl. So it's like the dynamic of like the older, like your older siblings, like they take care,
Mm-hmm.
air quote, of like the younger siblings. Like they kind of sort of have like a not a responsibility, but a responsibility to like lead the way in a way.
Yeah.
We
do everything for you.
But it doesn't it says the one shall be stronger than the other, but then it specifies the older shall serve the younger. So it's like, all right, before you get down into the nitty-gritty, it's like who's gonna be stronger?
Yeah.
You would assume it's the older, but it's like, but who?
Yeah. I had the same question. Like, who is going to be stronger? We don't know still. We know that the older were still the younger, but that doesn't necessarily mean the younger is stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
And what does strength mean to them? Like, are they saying physically stronger, or are they saying like power? Like, you'll have more power, you'll have more of the inheritance, more of the whatever. Like,
I think it's the latter. I think it's the more, right? The one who is meant to rule. And I don't know, to your point, usually, and I don't know if you all have heard this, but usually is always the older is supposed to inherit more, right? And this time it was the oldest male would get more. And so what I think he's saying is that that's not, the Lord is saying is that's not how this is going to happen. These two are, when he says there are two nations, I always, and it doesn't say it, envision them sort of fighting. Like there'll be this struggle between them that results in nations, and it's sort of a prophecy. And we'll see this later on when you get to the start talking about the Edomites and how Israel usually beats the Edomites and stuff like that. The younger Israel as a nation, I'm sort of skipping ahead, will be stronger than the Edomites as a nation. And this is starting in your womb.
Yeah. I don't know. It's always strange for twins to like debate who's older because y'all are the same age to me.
Yeah, but this was go ahead.
Yeah, but I guess if you're a twin, those seconds or minutes matter apparently. Yeah.
Because the oldest is important.
Yeah.
I mean, even think back to the blessing that Jacob, Israel, gave to his sons. And one of the things that we know and we'll see as we go through this is that Reuben was sort of disqualified from being given what the oldest was supposed to be given. And I think it says something to the effect during the blessing that Reuben, you are supposed to be the representation of my manhood, of my strength, of my vigor, being the firstborn.
Yeah.
But you did what you did, so you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
So the oldest was important. So yeah, those seconds matter to these people.
Yeah.
I get it now. It's like y'all are twins.
Yeah. Just split it equal.
Yeah. But no, those seconds mattered here. So, all right. So she has twins. And what about the description of these twins?
I don't know what comes to mind when like the first one came out red and on his body like a hairy cloak.
Uh-huh.
Like what does that even look like? Like are they talking about like
Just a
like when I
hairy
hear
baby.
red I think of like okay like when a woman gives childbirth like they're covered in there's
I
a
don't know.
medical term for the stuff that they're covered in, but I forget what it's called.
No.
But
I don't even think that's what they're talking about.
yeah, I'm like, I
He just
don't
had a
lot of hair.
skin color that was reddish.
right.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think he was red, and he had a lot of like. There are some babies that are covered in hair when they're born, so I can imagine it just because I've seen it, and it does look weird. But the hair is supposed to fall off after a while.
Oh, really?
I never knew that.
Yeah, it's supposed to. There's some babies come out like that, like they're head to toe covered in hair. I don't know if it's protecting them. I don't know what the purpose is.
Right.
I'm sure there's probably some medical thing, but yeah, the hair is supposed to eventually fall off.
Okay.
I think, and I don't know, but I feel like there's some cultures where that's more common that their babies are gonna just be hairy.
Yeah. So we get that description of him with no real description of the second child that's born.
Yeah.
Right.
And they just call him Harry. Like,
Yeah.
you just named him Harry. That's okay.
So that's what you looked up for Esau?
Yeah,
what
it just meant Harry. And I was like, that no prophetic name, no like
nope, just Harry.
I don't like that. I don't like that they did him like that.
Why?
Like he's just walking around being called Harry.
Yeah.
That's not
He's
right.
being called Esau. That's his name.
I don't like it.
We do it all the time.
I don't. I gave my kids names that was like prophetic names for them.
Oh, not just okay.
Yeah, I didn't call them like
Well, okay, maybe we do it with nicknames,
maybe.
right? Maybe we do it with nicknames.
Yeah.
So we get Harry. Now, whenever I see Esau, I'm gonna call him Harry. I'm gonna try
Yeah,
to remember
Harry.
to. Or Edom, right? Which we'll get to later, which I believe is related to being red. Um, and then what do we find out the name of the second child is?
Jacob.
And why was he named Jacob?
You see, he was holding
He
his
was
brother's
grabbing
heel.
to his heel.
Yeah. And I think that his name just meant like heel holder or supplanter, like somebody who's
Yeah.
trying to take over.
Yep.
Like, yeah,
Supplanter, trickster,
yeah,
stuff like that
yeah,
is associated with his name.
Very literal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. And then they give us an age again. That Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. So we get some time in the timeline. So yeah, this is interesting. This is the next in line.
Yeah.
So anything else there? Anything else to touch on with that set of verses?
All right, Genesis chapter 25, verses 27 through 34.
Did you say Genesis chapter 5?
I almost did, and I was like,
Genesis 20.
all right. When the boys grew up, Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man, dwelling in tents. Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Once, when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field, and he was exhausted. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stew, for I am exhausted." Therefore, his name was called Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright now." Esau said, "I'm about to die. Of what use is a birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear to me now." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Mm. So, waste no time. They were just born. Now they can talk and they hunt. So what's going on here with Esau and Jacob? What do we see in terms of their interaction and how they're described in terms of their activities?
It kind of sort of reminded me of Cain and Abel in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always get them mixed up, but I think Cain was the worker of the
Land.
the
Yeah.
field, and Abel was the shepherd, I
Mhm.
think. I don't know. That's kind of what I thought about when I was reading it.
Yeah. So it really just talks to the difference in their demeanors. It seems like it.
Mhm.
I think for Cain and Abel, it was probably job if you wanted to say that they had jobs then.
Mhm.
And I think it's sort of the same thing here in terms of their demeanor and their job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where one would go out and hunt and seem like a man's man, is what I thought when I first read it. And then Jacob's just sort of in the house chilling, playing video games.
Cooking. He's like with his mom.
Yeah, and he's cooking. You're right.
Yeah, he's cooking. I don't know what else he's doing because they just say Rebecca loved Jacob because of what? We don't like Esau loved his son because he brought him good food. Rebecca loved Jacob because period. like that's it.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting. So you think because he loved him because of good food, that's a valid reason? Because all right, so let me ask this question first, and then we can talk about that. So when it says that Jacob loved Esau, right? Let's leave the food stuff off of it, and then Rebecca loved um, Jacob. You think that means above and beyond the other?
Because it says but.
Yeah.
Good point.
It says but.
It's an adversative, so
Yeah.
you're drawing a contrast between the two.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, since that's established, loving him more because he brings you food, is that
The men of the Bible so far. The men of the Bible so far. I mean, they be loving things that you don't expect them to love and not loving things that you expect them to love. So I don't know what love means to these people. They just he like to eat, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like Rebecca just loved Jacob. To me, it just seems like generally because that's her son.
Hold up.
But Isaac is like, all right, he's got a skill, a manly man skill. He's out there, he's hunting, he's putting food on the table. So I love him.
Yeah.
So you think it's because he's like, oh, I'm a manly man.
Right, and Jacob was quiet. He was dwelling in tents and he was quiet, and maybe I don't know, Isaac was like Esau's more of a like a man. No.
Hey, it could be.
It's the only love we know so far.
Right.
It's love. It was the love of Isaac. I mean, Abraham to Isaac. It's the love of uh Rebecca or Isaac to Rebecca. It's the love now of Isaac to Esau.
To Esau, right.
And the love of
Rebecca.
to Jacob. Like it's just love. Like it's covering everything. And later on we find out it's the love that he has for food. Like I love make me that food that I love. Like it's just love. Like the way my kids say love.
Okay.
They love everything.
Yeah, they love everything.
They do.
That seems so
feel like
weird.
It circles back to like God saying to Rebecca, like there's gonna be two nations, like there's gonna be some sort of division. Like it's already calling attention to a sort of division here. Like Isaac loving Esau and Rebecca loving Jacob.
Yeah.
It's like separated.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is Rebecca's love for Jacob and the reasoning is not called out, which makes you go back to what was told to her.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can say that very dogmatically, right? I wouldn't foot stomp that because it's just not mentioned.
Yeah.
But that thought does enter your mind.
Yeah.
At least it enters mine.
Yeah. I think I've heard a sermon where somebody said that was the reason. Like because God told her that, she automatically loved the second more. But we don't know that. Right. It could just be that he's by her side all the time. Right. Like that's just the kid that's like my shadow.
Right. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, that makes a little more sense, right? Because just think, when Isaac was younger, 60, he's not that old by this thing yet. He's probably out in the field doing all the things, doing all the hunting and all of that. And who's by his side? Esau. Yeah. While Rebecca's in the house doing whatever she's doing.
Yeah. And he's a quiet man dwelling in tents. It just sounds very like with the women.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
It does. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It's not.
So, but with all of that bravado, no, that's not the right word. Take that back. With all of that agricultural hunting style, all of that stuff that he has, Esau has a bad day, it sounds like, and he goes to his brother. What do we think about how his brother reacted in this situation?
How Jacob reacted? Or how
Jacob reacted. Esau comes in. Man, I didn't get anything today, and I'm starving. How do you take Jacob handling this situation?
I'm trying to find the word for it because I feel like vindictive isn't correct.
Ooh, vindictive. You going hard.
I can't find the word for it, but
he feels coached a little. Like I think it goes back to the whole his relationship with his mom, because who thinks to ask for a birthright? Why are you asking for that?
Right. It's like out of context.
Yeah, it just feels wrongfully like that's extreme. I want some of your soup and you want my birthright. Right. It's crazy.
But still, you think it's coached? He came out like that, grabbing his heel, which sort of gives you this idea of supplanter. So you think it was coaching more so than him?
I mean, it's probably part of his personality, but also he may know more than we think he knows. And we know later and again, just because I've already read this, is hard to take away future. Yeah, so it's like, why? The man is hungry. Do y'all not share food? Everybody only eats what they cook and give to who they like to give it to. Like, I only give food to my daddy. I don't even like my mom like that. And I only give food to this one, so that's why she loves me so much. Like, that's how it's feeling. Like, why is everybody not eating together?
Yeah.
Why is this soup not for me anyway? I've been working all day. I can't get some soup.
Yeah.
It was like he gave him an ultimatum, almost like an extreme one. Like, I'm not giving you no food until you sell me your birthright.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a simple yes or no question. You either gonna give you food or you're not. Like,
Right. I'm hungry. You gonna feed me?
right.
Yes or no?
It's very extreme and just out of the ordinary.
So I did not think of him being coached. I always thought of this just being part of his personality, right? Part of his now I can't think of the word. It's like when you see an opportunity, you always do what you can to take advantage of that opportunity, right? There's a word for it, and it's escaping me right now. But I think he saw an opportunity. I think that he, in his mindset, and there's a reason that he's named Jacob, the supplanter, the trickster, right? That he's just living up to who he is.
Yeah, but they named him that at birth. So you get your names from your parents. Like,
that's a good one.
They named him that from birth because of what they saw. But I don't know. It just feels like I'm raising you to be this.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people will see Joyous and be like, she's so happy all the time. She's so, like, her name fits her. But I named her.
Right.
She could have been an angry person. Like, she could have came out as angry, but you name your kids certain things just out of, to me, I don't know. I place a very high importance on names, right?
Yeah.
So even my own name, I'm always thinking about it. Like, when I'm moving in life, I'm thinking about, this is what my parents named me, right?
Oh,
and so that's how I feel for him. Like, I'm Jacob.
Yeah, I'm a supplanter.
Yeah, like, this has to mean something, and this may be what my mother has told me. This is what everybody's calling me. Like, this is what I am.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, your name is like who you are.
Right. So when you're saying coaching, it's almost like you were named this way. So the thought is that his parents may sort of instill that in him.
Yeah, like, it's what's the word? Like, it's rooted in who he is. So you're saying it's who he is, but it's because that's what he was named. That's what everybody's calling him on a day-to-day basis. When I call you, I'm calling you this. Right. I'm calling Esau Harry. Okay, man, like, I'm Harry. I get it.
I get
like,
it. I'm Harry.
I get it. Maybe that's why he likes to be in the field. Like, y'all stop calling me.
I get away.
I don't know. I don't know. But it just feels like that's the name means something, which is why they're telling us the meaning in the beginning.
Yeah.
And how they're living is like, oh, just like with Isaac, I think we find out later when they do, I'm jumping ahead again, but his name is Laughter. And there's so many steps in his life, even before, where it's like, they're going to laugh at me because I have a child at this old age.
Right.
Now this person is laughing at me and everybody's upset about it. They kick him out. Like, laughter is coming up so much.
Right.
And that's his name.
That's his name.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant.
I get it.
Yeah.
But with all of that, I still think that this is just sort of some insight into how Jacob behaves.
Yeah.
And how he looks at situations.
Yeah.
And takes advantage of situations.
Yeah. That's who he is.
Right.
He will be that way till he dies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. So but there's two sides to the story. So we just talked about Jacob. What about Esau? What about Harry?
Harry is like, what am I going to do with a birthright if I'm going to die right now? Like, if I die, you get everything. I'm so hungry.
Is that too reductionist though?
I don't know. Like, he just seems like, maybe he feels you can't actually, I can't even sell you my birthright if I wanted to. So whatever, you can have it. That's how it felt to me. Like,
so when we think of the birthright, what is he actually selling? Did anybody do anything?
His inheritance, like everything that he should get from his father.
So true. So some of that may come up, right? But still, he just seems so flippant about it.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, maybe he doesn't, not that he doesn't care, but like he doesn't care, or like it doesn't hold as high of like an importance to him as
I would say
somebody
he
else might.
doesn't care.
Yeah.
Can I
Look,
sell you
Because
my
he's just like,
birthright?
here, like a birthright, that sounds like, oh, that's a big deal. And he's just like, listen, I'm hungry here. Like, what use of it is to me if I die, if I were to die? Like,
Yep.
you want it so bad here. I don't care.
I don't know. I get what you're saying. Can I sell you my birthright? But that's like saying the. I wonder if the equivalent would be that I write in a contract somewhere that the inheritance that I would get, I'm giving to my younger brother.
But he's not writing it. I mean, he's swearing verbally.
He's swearing.
But
That's what
this
they
between
did in
me
that
and my
time.
brother. Me and my brother are saying. I used to tell my
We
brothers things
swore.
all the time. Like, yeah, you can have this when we get home. I'm not gonna give it to you. Like, it
No,
doesn't matter if I swear up and down because
I don't.
we are talking. And I guess because he's saying he despises it later, where like
That's
maybe there's
one
more
thing.
weight. But later on, again, he's like he comes to get his birthright and or his inheritance or his blessing or whatever, and he's like he still expects to get what he was gonna get,
I don't know that he should though.
but he
He
does.
may be very flippant about it, and that may be part of the despising. But I don't think that he should have been as. I'm a pragmatic person. This makes me think of pragmatism, right? I'm a very pragmatic person, meaning the it's not, and I try to not do this, but usually what happens is the variables that are presented before me inform my decision. Not necessarily being forward thinking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here, right now, what needs to be done to address this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think of Esau the same way. Right now, right here, I'm hungry. I need food. Everything else, meh.
Yeah, he was exhausted. I think that also comes into play too.
Right now, I want to eat. I feel like if I don't eat, I'm gonna die. I don't care that I don't have that I can probably go to my dad, maybe even go to my mom, because I don't think that that loved one more than the other means that they hated them and wouldn't have fed them.
Mm-hmm.
But right here, right now, this is what I need and this is what I want to do. I feel it's very pragmatist to me the way that he did it, which makes me think that he wasn't being and having any good forethought about what
Yeah.
the birthright really entailed and meant for him long term. That's how I read this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I agree.
agree.
Yeah, so I think we may be saying sort of
Yeah,
the same things.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I
Just
agree that
differently.
yeah, I agree that he's not looking at like he's and I think that's what I was saying. I don't think he understands that you're actually doing this.
Right.
This is supposed to be you're swearing that you're doing this. To
Okay,
him
I
it's
see
like
what you mean.
he's
I
like
see what you mean.
I don't care. Have it. But in his head he's not thinking that really means you're going to take my blessing. That doesn't I don't think
Well,
those two
birthright
things
blessing are different
well,
things.
I don't think those two things are meshing in his mind. Like his birthright is what to him? Like, what does that mean to him? Nothing at this point. Because if I die, like I'm so hungry, I'm gonna die. He's dramatic, yes.
Yes. Very
But
dramatic.
what is I'm trying to feel like I'm not explaining it the way it's in my head, but it's not that it doesn't matter to him, but it doesn't matter in this moment, like you said. Have it. It's between me and you. We're talking. Go
Right.
ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, do what you're gonna do.
How you gonna get it? Like, how are you actually gonna get my birthright?
Right.
I
Okay.
can swear that you can have it, but how do you end up getting it? We aren't even discussing that. We're just saying, I swear you can have it. Okay.
So but what else I will add is I think he was wrong in doing that. Though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think he was wrong in doing that because he's selling something
It's not really his to sell, I don't think either.
and you should it's a privilege to be considered that way. I mean, it's weird to say, but it's like a privilege almost to be the firstborn because of some of the things that you mentioned earlier, Kelly. You are the one who is it's a privilege and sort of a I don't want to say a curse, but a burden. Because you're the one who is expected to be the one who sets the standard, sets the path, and looks after those who are behind you. That's sort of the expectation I think that most people have for firstborns. My niece, I always call her the eldest one because I'm like You set the tone. So to look at that flippantly, I think is just bad. So, um, and I thought, right now,
Maybe I could read this. So I just realized there's also a dictionary because I've been doing more of the word thing, but the word is just the word for birthright.
right?
But there's a dictionary here, and it's saying, kind of what you said. The word denotes the special privileges and advantages belonging to the firstborn son among the Jews. He became the priest of the family. Then they talk about how Reuben became the patriarch and all of that. Then it talks about how the firstborn son is usually allotted a double portion
Yes.
of the paternal inheritance. Yes. It also talks about their judicial authority that they get like over the family as a whole. What else? And there's a sort of sacred attachment or importance to being to having that birthright.
Yeah.
So, but again, he's not thinking about all that.
Yeah, I agree. He's being very pragmatic and is not considering what it means.
Yeah.
That he's saying, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to swear to you. And I still think that when he says swear, right? So what did Abraham say to his servant? Swear to me that you're going to do this. It's not the whole ritual that we saw with hand under thigh. But I think when you say you swear something like that, it's still a pretty heavy and serious thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. That was good. That was a good discussion. So, he said, swear to me your birthright. He does. He eats. Harry eats the red stew, which is lentils. For
of all
beans.
things to sell your birthright for. Ain't no meat in here. Like all that for some lentils is crazy.
I was like, man, really? He gave him some bread and lentil stew, it says.
Yeah, because I'm like, if he's a hunter, like, I don't know, did they cook any of the food that he brought back?
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, he didn't bring any. If Esau's a hunter?
Yeah. So, like, I don't know, did they not have, like, any stock, like, in
I
the
don't know.
freezer or...
Ain't no
Yeah,
freezer.
in the freezer.
In the salt
Did
pile.
did they preserve
I like the idea of a freezer back in back in Jacob's day. And let me go to the freezer and pull out whatever it is they hunted, some antelope.
I think that's probably a part of why the dad is like, oh, I love when he goes and hunts and brings
That's a
me
good
fresh food. Like,
That's a good
we
point.
don't get to eat meat all the time.
not when Jacob cooked?
No, because you had to give up everything.
Yeah. The other thing I thought about is he despising his birthright because something actually changes once he swears, right? So because I read the definition of how you have all of these new responsibilities, does that now shift? Did he actually start acting as, you know what? He sold his birthright, so I make this decision or I do this or like certain things are now changing
could be.
in the way that the family is interacting with the two sons. And so he's despising it because I had all this before and I just gave it away.
And I just gave it away.
Because that would be the only reason that makes sense to me. Like, why do you even care? You didn't care 2 seconds ago.
Right.
I was laughing because I was like, initially I was like, maybe he despises his birthright because it's like, dang, I can't even ask you for food without you bringing up a birthright. Like, I can't just want to eat. I'm hungry, and you worry about a birthright.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that
can
too.
you see Jacob
hate this
every time he's
birthright.
like, I got that birthright, right?
Yeah.
You know you not. I'm the captain of this ship now.
Yeah. Them 2 minutes be mattering to them twins, so you just gave away your 2 minutes.
Right. 2 minutes gone. Poof.
I don't know. I thought that because it says thus. Like, then he had the food, thus he despised his birthright. So I thought it was because of that situation.
I did too. But I can see what Moyo's saying.
Yeah.
It's like it can carry forward in terms of the way that he behaves toward some of the things that are expected of him.
Yeah, like now I know it's about to happen since I sold my birthright.
So now priest of the family. That's not me anymore.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
He loses a lot of things in that moment.
But and I think that's the point of this, that he has some responsibility for seeing what comes forth from what was told to Rebecca. So cool, man. That was good. That was good. Anything else in these last set of verses?
Yeah, I guess we won't come back to this until chapter 27, so it'll be
Right.
interesting when we go through that one.
Yeah, that'll be good. That will be good. So that's foreboding. Chapter 27. We got to get through chapter 26.
Yeah.
This should be a good one. Then the chapter 27, where we pick this back up and see that relationship and all that, how all that pans out.
Oh, yeah, and we're gonna have another pastor here for 27, so that should be interesting.
Will be.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward
see
to
what you were doing. Maybe I'll do more listening in that episode.
I want you to do more talking.
We'll see.
Oh man, but this was good. You know, I'm not saying you don't talk enough, Moyo. That wasn't what I meant. I was just
I
trying
didn't
to be
take it that way. It's fine.
All right. Thank you again for joining us. We appreciate it. Second time on the docket.
Woo-hoo.
Next time when I'm out, we're gonna have Kayla come sit in this chair and host.
When you're out and we can't get in here.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just have it outside.
Yeah, we'll put up some
field.
chairs outside and the camera and everything.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Thank you, Moyo, as always. Jasmine, we know you're out there watching. Keep being that good mom. And we'll see you all later. Don't forget to like, subscribe. What are these
Share.
hype things? Are there hypes?
I don't know
What
if we
hypes?
have that yet. I don't know if we have that yet.
Give me a hype. I don't
If
even
we
know what
do.
it is. I just want one.
If we have that option.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. And so with that said, we out of here. Deuces.
Bye.